Perfect.
Are we live?
Yes, we are live now. Just waited and gave it a buffer of about 8-9 seconds. Uh, Hello and welcome to a live dugout from a very windy Colombo. We've had a very dry, humid day where humidity was almost 100%. Very tiring day. So tiring that even Vikrant has had an afternoon nap after how many years? Do you get? Can you afford the luxury of an afternoon nap? No,
Uh,
in normal life.
it is very difficult. I mean, for me to recall means that we normally don't do that. But it
What?
was needed, yeah. My see the pollution because of the tuk tuk.
There's no pollution in Colombo. It's in a beautiful, fresh air country.
Maybe the tiredness.
Tiredness. Or you must be drinking lots of cold water. That is why, because it is very humid here.
Could well be. Could well
Yeah.
be.
But right now, very windy. We've had a dry day. You remember no
Can you
rain
spot
yesterday?
two ships?
No. The camera
You can't.
catch.
No, you can.
I
you?
can.
Yeah,
I
you
can. There are two. Yes, but the camera
So
can't. catch.
beautiful, yeah.
The thing is that because of no rain for the last 2 days, in fact, yesterday just a 20-minute shower, which I gave you update about. So no rain last 2 days means rain could be around the corner, which is not great news for India, Pakistan, because that's exactly what all of you are asking. Like Suyog is asking tomorrow full 50 overs. For the first time, I can see some dark clouds. Can you see in the background on the horizon? There is some dark clouds heading towards Colombo, but still no rain throughout the day.
One change that I've seen in the last 3-4 minutes, because I was doing an Instagram live, Nikhil, that spot is actually now opening up. It was very dark, just like that, and the fact that it is opening up means that the winds may actually take the clouds away.
Away. Very good.
And there is sun that side. You can see, which means that this place has been like this for the last 30 minutes. And the worrying thing was that horizon, and you can see it is spreading. I mean, the whiteness is spreading, which means that the winds could actually blow the clouds away.
Okay, so that's good news again. Today has been a dry day, as you know, in Colombo. The game is happening between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. We'll talk about that game as well.
I got my ticket for tomorrow's game.
Wow. Today's game?
Today's game, Nikhil had a ticket. They didn't give me one.
You
They
just
I
said you
was-
have arrived late.
Yeah.
You should have come well in advance. Then you would have known. And Aditya, you are right. From cricket experts, we've become weather experts because that is the maximum amount of questions that you guys ask us, right? And I understand why. Because it's the weekend. All of you would have made your plans for the weekend to do something or the other. And you want to know whether you'll get a full game or not. Well, I'll tell you what. Last 2 days have been fantastic in terms of weather. Which has allowed this game to carry on, which will allow this game to carry on maybe for the full duration of 100 overs, which is good because these two teams which are playing right now in Sri Lanka, Bangladesh won't happy that India got a reserve day. So at least they'll get a result, they'll get some points under their belt. So India, Pakistan become important. Have you recently checked the weather app? Because I did just before coming
And
live.
the weather app has been saying for the last 1.5 hours that it is raining, while it is not. So I'll just give you the live. See, it says rain in Colombo, and it says it'll rain till about 9 o'clock, then maybe midnight, and it says till morning. The afternoon is okay, but the very fact that it says rain, it is not raining.
It says rain right now,
Yeah.
6:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, it's saying rain in Colombo 6:30 p.m. It's not raining here at Golf Face. We are about 5 kilometers away from Khetarama.
It's not raining at the Khetarama as well.
Yes, Premadasa. So that's what I try to tell you. Sometimes all these weather predictions go wrong. So tomorrow's prediction is 90% chance of rain, especially towards the latter half of the day. But why we're telling you that a lot of time these apps are wrong because
Today was also 80%.
yeah. So
Hasn't rained at all.
So fingers crossed, you'll get a game tomorrow. Luckily, there's also a reserve day. So if it doesn't happen now,
It now says tomorrow is 80%, not 90.
wow.
So it's come down a bit.
Wow. Okay, let's run over with what happened with the Indian practice, and I'll get to the Indian press conference as well. Only 7 players came for India's practice. I'll quickly name all the 7 players. So you had Shubman Gill, you had Ishan Kishan, you had Shubman, Ishan, Ravindra Jadeja. You had
Rahul.
KL Rahul. You had Kuldeep Yadav, Prasidh Krishna, and Tilak Verma. So those are the seven players that came. Out of which Tilak and Prasidh
Will
not going to play. Okay, then the
I have my doubts. I think they may give KL Rahul another game off tomorrow because Ishan, the way he batted against Pakistan, and it's not a trial match that, let's give Ishan another chance. You would also want to play your best batsman of that day. And Ishan Kishan was so solid in the middle overs, especially against the spinners. So Ishan has to play. Now, Shreyas Iyer, Nikhil has played just one knock. That too against Pakistan. I think they'll give him another one. KL can maybe play from the next game onwards.
Okay, so if you look at what they did in practice, I'm just going to update you with what they did in practice. So Ishan Kishan did not bat at all today. Did not bat at all. He was there while the batting nets was on and he was just sitting in one corner. But once the batting was over, he came up and then he did a lot of wicket keeping drill today. There was a lot of catching for Ishan Kishan and the slip area. Remember against Nepal, India dropped a few catches. So today Shubman Gill was there.
But who dropped catches in that game?
Ishan, Virat Kohli.
And Shreyas. So Shreyas was in the slips.
Yes, Shreyas.
So today he wasn't there.
Today he wasn't.
So they may actually have Shubman Gill in the slips tomorrow, going by the look of things.
Yeah, but he does stand in the slip. So today they focused on their slip catching, and also Ishan was catching a lot of ball because even he had dropped a catch, if you remember, in the Nepal game. But so this is what, because Vikrant feels that Ishan Kishan should play, and I wholeheartedly agree with him that because Pakistan game is a crucial game, you don't want to take it lightly. Also, your qualification, the final depends on that. One result can decide that, because maybe what the other games are washed out, and then one result will decide. Because today there's a likelihood that there is a result. If Sri Lanka win, then Pakistan, Sri Lanka, are suddenly in very good position, and so you have to win to be able to qualify for the final. So very important game for India, because Pakistan already have a win under their belt. India may not have the luxury of playing a full game versus Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, so it becomes important. All that in mind, and the form, he's got 4 half centuries in a row, Ishan Kishan. I would also want him. But my big but is, looking at what happened in the practice session today, I wouldn't be surprised if
No, but then
KL
even
Rahul
Virat
plays.
Didn't bat today. He didn't come out.
But he came yesterday and he batted.
So
Today Rohit did not
Ishan
come.
didn't bat yesterday.
He did. But I'm saying he was at practice today. Did not.
Maybe
Again,
a light workout. Maybe just wanted to have a feel of things.
I agree. I hope so.
I mean, they may actually play KL Rahul, but then again, Nikhil, what makes sense to you?
No, he doesn't.
To play a game against Pakistan, which actually every game becomes a do or die. So, would you want to play against Pakistan with Shreyas, who's not batted much, just one international game, and Rahul, who's not batted in any international game or any competitive game the last 4 or 5 months? Or would you play one of them and then Ishan Kishan?
I will definitely play Ishan Kishan and Shreyas Iyer for 2 reasons. One, Ishan, we've already spent a lot of time talking about why he should play.
Players may actually be listening to your
That's okay.
chat.
So I would want Ishan to play, that's for certain. And also Shreyas to play, because I've been telling you, you weren't here. Shreyas has looked outstanding in the nets. He's looked really in rhythm, really timing the ball well. And if you see one more thing, I'm saying that game against Pakistan, did you see his intent? He was attacking from the word go, whereas a few other players were a bit tentative. He was attacking. That pull shot where he gets out, usually what happens with Shreyas, he is late on the pull shot. He used to say that is his weakness. He was on time, connected it well, just unlucky, found
Because
the fielder.
my feeling is
KL
Rahul will play in the World Cup. I mean, he'll start in your 11. If at all he doesn't play one more game, it is not going to matter a lot. But for Ishan Kishan and Shreyas Iyer, it is also an opportunity to stake your claim. I mean, let's say hypothetically, if Rahul doesn't play tomorrow, Shreyas and Ishan Kishan play. Someday you will have to play Rahul. It
Next
could be the
match.
next game.
Next
So
match.
who sits out?
So
Does
then
Ishan sit out or will Shreyas?
I don't mind making Ishan sit out. I'll tell you why.
I think he's a match winner.
No, I agree, and I'm not doubting that. But I will only make him sit out because I want to see KL. I have doubts
No,
over
KL
KL.
will play the next game, not
Yes.
tomorrow's game,
Yeah.
but the next game.
So
They may decide,
Because
okay,
see-
let's play both Shreyas and KL and then see how it
Yeah, because all I'm saying is with Ishan, I know what I'm going to get. I know he's a man in form. He's getting you runs. He's in, good flow. So I know with what I'm getting. I don't know what Shreyas Iyer is going to give me. I don't know what KL Rahul is going to give me. So I think there is time for Indian team to test these two guys. They should test these two guys, but they should test them in the next game. India-Pakistan game, no changes. Go with a man in form. Go with a man who's continuously playing cricket. Go with a guy who can help you win a game. And right now, that is Ishan Kishan. That's
True.
one thing. That is one thing. The other selection bit is going to be Shardul Thakur or Akshar Patel. What do you reckon? What's going to happen?
Going by the match that is happening right now and the fact that Bangladesh used the spinners well, this wicket will help the spinners. And I think traditionally also, and because of the fact that it had been under covers for so many days, Nikhil, I will play Akshar Patel. A third spinner in place of Shardul. Because see, why have you then included Akshar Patel in the team? If you're not going to play him at the Premadasa in Sri Lanka, then when will you play him?
Yeah. And the other thing I feel is that, because Rohit mentioned that, listen, we need to get runs from our lower order, and that could have been crucial. Last game, if you saw, that 15-20 more runs would have helped India win. And I think any day, if you ask me to pick the better batter between Akshar, Shardul, with my eyes closed, I'm going to pick Akshar Patel, far better batter. So your batting becomes stronger, which you were saying you're lacking balance. And secondly, now with Shardul, if you're only going to give him 4-5 overs, which seems to be, the captain's outlook right now, then Hardik is my third fast bowler. Hardik is now bowling 8-9 overs. So he'll bowl
On this
that.
wicket, Hardik could actually be a very good bowler. Even
Dangerous.
Shardul can be.
Yes.
Even Shardul can be. But then again, we are not talking about the utility of a player. I think it is the balance of the team that you need to look at.
Yeah.
I feel that an extra spinner may actually come in handy. But then don't forget the fact that Pakistan, they play spin very well. As do all the subcontinent teams. But again, I would play Akshar Patel.
I would also play Akshar Patel for the reasons just mentioned. Your batting will become stronger. On this pitch, spinners, tend to do their job as well. And my third fast bowler, Hardik, will bowl 8-9 overs. So I'm happy. And by the way, let me tell you, yesterday when Hardik was bowling, he was bowling quick.
No, even in
Quick.
the
the
game
nets.
against Nepal and previously as well, I think Hardik has been bowling exceptionally well.
Yeah, he's bowling very quick. So I would go with him. That is the other thing that the Indian team will look at. No surprise that Jasprit Bumrah comes back in.
Bumrah comes back in and who goes out?
That's what I'm saying. So Jasprit Bumrah is definitely going to play. And I want Jasprit Bumrah to play because Mohammad Rizwan, the last day, pointed out that you guys are taking, he was telling the Pakistani journalists that you guys are taking the Indian bowling lineup lightly. Now with Jasprit Bumrah back, and he also in the nets, I saw Virat was batting, he was troubling Virat also to
See,
an
the thing
extent.
with Jasprit is, Nikhil, again, just a month left for your first World Cup game. He's also not played cricket. I mean, he didn't play cricket for a year. He's played 2-3 T20 games. So 4 overs and 10 overs, I think it's a different mindset. Bumrah has to run in, bowl fast, bowl 10 overs. And once he starts doing that in 2 games, 3 games, 4 games, that is when he'll find his rhythm back.
Yeah.
See
Absolutely.
how good or bad you are in the nets. Matches are a different ball game altogether.
Yeah. And his comeback was impressive, but then again, that was 4 overs. 10 overs, I want to see. And by the way, let's not forget, 10 overs in the humidity that we just witnessed, for which we
Today
needed
was
to
very
take
bad,
an
yeah.
afternoon nap after, spending the whole day covering.
It was a very
Can you
humid day.
imagine bowling as a fast bowler 10 overs in that humid weather, which most likely you're going to get?
Yeah, but
real
then,
test.
Nikhil,
Real test.
again, they are fitter.
I agree.
I am 50. You are just 38. I mean, you can still manage, but I can't now. I can't.
No, but I'm saying.
I had this jet lag as well, yeah. 3.5 hour flight from Delhi to Colombo.
There can't be jet lag in 3 hours. You're the same time zone.
Tiredness.
But what I'm saying is that if you're looking at someone coming back from fitness, then 10 overs is where you want to test him, right? In these conditions, no better condition than this to really test Jasprit Bumrah's
How many people
fitness.
are with us right now? I'll just check the
1270.
score
1270.
because I think
the game is done.
Sri Lanka.
Which I'll just tell you now.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you now.
I think
1200.
Bangladesh have finished well, to be honest, because at one stage it looked like Sri Lanka may actually get to 270, but I think Bangladesh came back well. Taskin bowled really well in the towards the end.
Yes.
So, which means that good game. again, the Indian. One more fact we forgot to tell you was that while the Indians were finishing off their optional practice, the coach
Rahul Dravid.
Rahul Dravid
Yes.
and the bowling coach, the two of them,
And the chairman of select.
and the chairman of selectors AajTak, the three of them, while the players were at the nets, went inside, and maybe they just wanted to watch first half an hour of the game, and this is how you would have assessed the conditions, because the pitch was covered for so many days, so was the outfield, and I think the Indians would also watch very closely, Nikhil, whether or not they'll be due. Because now, see, today there may not be any dew because of the winds that are blowing. So today may be a dew-free day, no dew today,
Yeah.
because the winds are so strong. But if tomorrow is humid and there are no strong winds, what if there is dew? Do you bat first or do you bowl first? That is also a very tricky question for the Indians now.
Bowl first, I think.
I think they made a mistake in the first game,
Yeah, bowl first. Here.
because
For sure.
and again,
You got to chase.
in a rain truncated game, the team which bowls first will definitely have an advantage while chasing.
Yeah.
If there are, the overs are cut and the game gets shortened, you know exactly what the target is. What happened against Nepal?
You didn't answer the question though, which was we've all agreed that Jasprit Bumrah comes in. But,
Who goes out?
Yeah. Because Shardul to you've replaced with Akshar already.
Again, I think Siraj can sit out a game. Again, ideally, if you ask me, I would want India to play all three of them
Yeah.
in
So
the World
will
Cup
I.
games.
So will I.
Bumrah, Shami and Siraj. Imagine Bumrah, Shami and Siraj. Now, the three of them. See, why are we saying that Pakistan, oh, they've got a wonderful pace attack. So with two fast bowlers, nobody will say, oh, India also have a wonderful pace attack. I mean, 4 overs, 5 overs each with a new ball, and then you're gone. So you'll have to bring back these spinners. I think India, again, it is not practically possible because they've already decided that they need somebody to bat at number 8. So Shardul / Akshar Patel will take up that slot in the World Cup as well.
Yeah.
But I would still feel Siraj, Shami, Bumrah in the World Cup will be a great trio. In this game, I think Shami and Bumrah most likely should.
Yeah. Even I would imagine that, because for two reasons, I think India is going to rotate their fast bowlers. Though Siraj did not play that earlier Pakistan game, but against Nepal you saw him, he was a bit wavered, a bit over exuberant in terms of his bowling. Shami was slightly measured. He could have got a wicket if you had held on to your catches. So I think against Pakistan, you'll go with the more experienced bowler. So I think those are the changes India can look to make. For Pakistan, I'm certain they will make one change from the last game. Fahim Ashram is going to go out. And I think Nawaz comes in simply because if you remember, when they were playing Bangladesh, too many left-handers. So left arm spinner Nawaz, you decided to drop him. Now with too many right-handers for India, you may want to get Nawaz, and Fahim then goes out. And in these conditions, which are spin-friendly conditions, what do you reckon? Or you go with Fahim?
Against India, Pakistan should go in with 4 fast bowlers.
Oh, you will keep Fahim.
Iftikhar can still bowl off spin if need be. Because again, but the problem with them is that Shadab also hasn't been among the wickets.
Yeah.
But against India, you play 2 spinners. You are allowing India 10 overs less of hostile pace bowling. Comparatively easier 10 overs to bat.
I agree. But again, as I say, I won't put Fahim in the same level as Naseem, Haris and Shine. So still possible India might score against Fahim if they play him. But I don't know, for some reason I feel they'll bring in Nawaz just because India has a lot of right-handers. Bangladesh had lefties, so they did not. There was a question that was coming in that, you met Babar Azam today, so they're asking, what was your conversation with him?
I
could just
first
read
met
that
him
question.
in the press conference,
Huh.
and while they were practicing, so I was waiting for him to come out, and I actually requested him for a bat
Oh, nice.
autographed by him, and Babar was kind enough.
Ritik Sharma was asking that question.
Babar
I
was
haven't
kind
taken
enough.
his name.
Babar was kind enough to come spare a couple of minutes, and he said, "Ki Bhaijan, bat." So I said, "Yes, bat." He thought maybe some other bat with an autograph will do. I said, "No, I want a proper bat, maybe one of your bats.
तो उन्होंने कहा होगा जान ले मांग लेते वो दे देता. Bat is tough.
No, but
Because Willow is in short supply.
yeah, I know. But for Babar, so you know, it just happened, and I didn't realize that a few of the Pakistani friends, the Pakistani media, they were there. They were obviously waiting for the captain to, go into that change room. So they were shooting that video. They gave me the video as well. I said, "Yeah, अब इसको डाल मत देना कहीं पे." But
So no wonder that question.
but they have put it on their channels and it's okay.
Achha, but that was a private conversation. In press conference, Babar came and said two very important things. One, he said that listen, we played a lot in Sri Lanka because they played the Test series here. They played the ODI series versus Afghanistan. Remember, Babar's played the Lankan Premier League. Then they've played a few games at the Asia Cup. So he said, yeah, you could say that we'll have a slight edge over India because we've played in Sri Lanka more than India. Because of the pitches that we are going to get, by the way, let me tell you, in Premadasa, India, Pakistan, you won't get a very high scoring pitch. It's a very low scoring pitch. You've seen it. I remember Lankan Premier League, you saw not too many runs that were scored here. Before that, also the matches that were played here, I think Afghanistan, Pakistan, also not too many runs. So it's not going to be a stroke making sort of a pitch. So do you agree with Babar's assessment that because they've played a lot in these conditions, and it is not to the absolute liking of Indian players who like, the ball coming onto the bat, high scoring round. This is not going to be that. Does Pakistan then get that edge over India?
See, that we've been saying for a long time. And not just playing in Sri Lanka, I think playing cricket together as a unit. So Pakistan have a huge advantage because the captain and his team, the 11, have been playing together for a long time. They know each other's role. See, India somehow have a very weird way of approaching World Cups. During the T20s, they would rotate players in the name of workload management. And then just before the World Cup last year, even in the Asia Cup, they were not sure. And it is only when the World Cup arrives that you decide what your 11 is. And then you take a couple of games to just settle down. And I think we saw that in the game against Pakistan last week. They were just coming off, a few of them had rested for a month, 2 months, 3 months. A few of them had not played cricket at all. A few of them had not played one-day cricket. So as a unit, I think India will need time, Nikhil. They'll get better. Yeah. I mean, the likes of Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, they will score runs. They may take a game or two just to get settled down.
Okay, just a few things I want to point out. Yogesh, thank you so much for your kind comments. There was a question about, why don't you guys speak in German? We will try and do that as soon as our company decides to have a German channel. Yeah, I know it's being sarcasm, but don't worry, we'll do that in case our company has that challenge.
Please bear with me. My English is very, क्या कहते हैं उसको माजरत वाली English है. But you'll have to bear with me because Nikhil is alone. Otherwise, if I'm not here, then Nikhil will be alone.
No, his English is just fine. He just underplays it.
Punjabi, if you want, we can start again.
We did that, yeah. One more question came, I think Crick Caster, somebody asked, is Shreyas bowling in the net? No, Shreyas is not. But I've started to see part-timers bowl. Sky was bowling a lot. Tilak Verma is bowling a lot in the net. So that's a welcome change that the Indian team management started doing. Quick word on, spoke last bit, we've spoken about Babar. Shubman Gill came today. I was mighty impressed with the things that he said in the press conference.
Very mature, yeah. Very mature, very straight to the point. And he wasn't running away from what was asked of him. Yeah. Short, sweet press conference. He gave credit to the Pakistani fast bowlers, but he also said that there'll be days when, as batsmen, you don't do well. You'll have to back your strength. You need to have that faith, self-belief, and the way he batted in the nets. Yeah. More than the press conference, it was the way that he batted in the nets. And I won't be surprised if Shubman Gill actually comes up with a blinder tomorrow.
Wow, 100 loading?
I don't know.
For Shubman?
I don't know. 100 here would be very, very big. But if India can see off the new ball, I think that will be half the job done.
Okay, just to let you know, what I loved, one thing that Shubman spoke about, where he said about, two things. One, about his own form, where he said, he's not been getting runs. It was pointed out, is there anything wrong? He said, see, there's nothing wrong technically. There have been occasions where I've been a bit unlucky. There have been occasions where, certain things did not go in my favor, those things. So, but I don't want to, what I liked about this is because sometimes young players start worrying. He said, what I don't want to do is suddenly start changing things about my batting. I don't want to look at my good face, just continue and runs will come. The second thing that he said is that, yes, Pakistan bowlers bowled well, but we don't get to play them very often. And it was his first India-Pakistan game, which is to say that give me some time, let me play them a bit, and then I will know exactly how I need to handle it. So I loved his attitude, I loved his positiveness, I loved how he's going to be approaching his game. Young kid, but good head on his shoulders. So that was refreshing to see, and maybe I'll go with Vikrant. Maybe I think he's going to get some good runs tomorrow. If he does not, do not come and troll us. It's just a guess. It is just a assumption that we are making. Who knows who gets run? Virat Kohli could get you those runs. I think he's got 300 in the last 3 games he's played in Premadas. I was looking at some stat. I could be wrong. Just looking at social media.
Wow.
So he loves the ground.
No, he is due for runs. I mean, Virat will get the runs. All that I'm worried about is the openers seeing off the new ball. See, while we were chatting up with a few of the Pakistani media, and I've seen a change in their own body language, the body language and the thoughts of the Pakistani media. I mean, they were asking us questions like, "आपके opener क्यों नहीं खेल पाते हैं? आपके जो opener है क्यों नहीं खेल पाते हैं शाइन
From
को?"
3 years ago, where they would have said कि यार क्या player हैं आपके ये.
So that speaks
changed.
highly of the pace attack that they have. But I told them, यार देखो ऐसा है, कंचे खेल के तो आए नहीं है. They have not played marbles to get where they have, and it is just one inning where if the Indians can actually see off the new ball, and seeing off the new ball is not impossible. I mean, they were talking about Wasim Akram and Waqar Younis. I said the level of players that Wasim Akram and Waqar Younis were, I know these guys are still not. They could be on the way up. But if Wasim Akram and Waqar Younis could be played, then why not these guys? I think it's just one knock. I would, Nikhil, rather want India not to bat first if they win the toss. I have seen the last 2-3 years, batting first adds to that pressure, the nerves. And I feel that you can lose a game inside the first 30 minutes if you're batting first. You lose a couple of wickets and then you're just playing catching up. But if you bowl first and there's a bad half an hour, the bowling can still make a comeback. And I think I've seen that the India-Pakistan games last 3 years, they're all about handling those nerves in the first 30 minutes. So, like I said, why risk batting? Let the other person take that risk. No?
And maybe the conditions here are going to dictate that you anyway chase, because if there is any dew and batting gets slightly better because of cooler conditions here, so maybe India might look to do that. Before we wrap up, prediction, what do you reckon? What happens? India, Pakistan, who's winning? Who's getting the runs?
My point is, every big warrior is just one gunshot away. And tomorrow could be Virat Kohli's day.
Yeah.
It could be Rohit Sharma's day. It could be Shubman Gill's day. And I think the Indians, the last 1 week or so, or maybe 10 days, unnecessarily have this fear of failure against the Pakistani fast bowlers. Good fast bowlers, but international teams do not prepare like this. And I somehow feel that one of the top 3 from India will get a century tomorrow.
Wow. And India winning?
51-49.
You're giving India 51?
Yeah, 51-49.
Yeah. I'm also giving India the slight edge. That last game was such a juicy situation, it was stopped. It robbed all of us of a very exciting contest. So I hope we get to see a full exciting contest.
And while we end, we will with the good news. The good news is that it did not rain. While the clouds were threatening, the winds have also, they've lost their bite, and it hasn't rained, which means that we will have a full game hopefully tomorrow.
Tomorrow only?
Tomorrow.
100 overs? Not
Tomorrow.
going, because a lot of people I met, I advised them
Yeah.
who had come here.
Yeah.
I said, sir, book kara dena, Monday ticket hai. I said, no. Change your ticket to Tuesday.
Monday will be
Because-
a rest day for the Indian players and the Pakistani players.
That is a prediction. So my prediction is slight edge to India, and he has said top 3 somebody will do. I have a feeling Shubman will be the highest run getter.
Wow.
For India, whatever runs he gets, highest run getters, some rear guard action, maybe even if Akshar is playing some quick fire 30-40 from him. It'll be, that sort of a game is my gut feeling. But it'll be a good game. Just a reminder before we wrap up, don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today if you haven't already. Press the bell icon. We'll be bringing you all the latest update from Ground Zero, from beautiful Colombo. And next up, we'll be live, I think, from here, weather update in the morning. And then from Premalasa Stadium.
Early morning.
Khetarama.
If need be, we can keep the camera on the entire night. Yeah. Remember we did
You
that.
can't see anything. But
Remember we did that in Melbourne.
Yes.
For the India-Pakistan game.
But you can't see anything.
And that was early morning in Melbourne, which was late night, very early morning in India.
Yeah.
So when the Indians were getting up in the morning, so they were watching us live on SportsTak. It was a good 7-8 hours live beam where we just placed a camera and you could see if it is raining or not.
We could do that.
Yeah, it was a lucky omen as well.
Yes, it did not
We
rain
should
that
repeat
night.
that.
Should
Yeah,
happen.
and India won.
And India won. Maybe. That same thing might happen here. Okay, take care all of you. Have a good weekend. Hopefully we get to see a full game. Bye-bye.